James, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm Jeff.
How you doing?
I work with Zach. He's with the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office.
How you doing? Good.
Well, dance around here. We put all that phones on vibrate and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have any idea why we want to talk to you? First of all,
No.
we don't want to talk to you about anything that you've done or your current charges or anything like that. You're under no obligation to talk to us whatsoever. We're not looking at charging you with anything. In fact, we're not even investigating anything that where you're the suspect of any crime. So, aware that you're facing murder charges yourself in regards to your wife, and that's not why we're here to talk to you about that either. Could you have any guess why the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office would maybe want to talk to you about anything?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. What's that, you think?
My Zelly,
Who's that?
James Brenner.
Okay. Why would we want to talk to you about him?
Because he's the only one I know that'd be connected to Box Elder.
Okay. Do you think you have anything that might be able to help us?
Maybe.
What's that?
2 different locations where a body might be.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Where are those?
West Desert.
Well, okay. That's helpful. We think he's there, too.
Yeah. he's in the West Desert somewhere.
Why do you believe that?
Just by the way he talks to me.
Well, what does he say?
He's trying to put it off on somebody named Chase.
Okay.
And he wants to say there's a road that goes from it goes from where he was all the way down to Clinton.
Oh, okay.
There's a dirt gravel road.
Okay.
It says it's been traveled a lot. It don't get traveled a lot. Actually, it's alongside the tracks.
Yep.
And that, and I know he killed the guy because he was jealous of him. Spoiled ass little rich kid is what they call him.
That Brent, you're using too many pronouns. When you say he killed him, you talking about Brenner killing him or this guy named Chase?
Brenner.
Okay.
Yeah, Brenner. Yeah, Brenner. He's told me. Yeah, he's told me so much of it. But I wouldn't stop in the West Desert. I would look inside of a septic tank also.
A septic tank?
Yeah, a septic tank.
Why do you say that?
Because he's come across and told me all these things he's thought about and checked into, and then he starts laughing and says, "You guys could be walking right over top of the body."
So, I just want to start off like I'm being completely upfront with you and honest with you about everything. Honestly, anything that you tell us, we're going to be somewhat skeptical of. Just like you're skeptical of us, right?
I get it.
You know? Just like you're skeptical of us and why we're talking there, like whether or not we're here to fuck you over or not. I could just tell you that we're not. We're trying to find this boy Dylan. Obviously, we know that you've spoken to other people about Brenner, and that's why we want to talk to you and see if there's any information that you have that might be of help to us. Now, you can tell us certain things.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't mean anything until we can corroborate it.
He had a buddy, some guy named Don.
Okay.
That he's trying to keep out of it. It's supposed to be his best friend. I read some of his emails too. I read a lot of his emails where somebody wrote him and told him that we wanted to make sure there was fun. There's plenty of people out there to put money on Brenner's books as long as he kept his mouth shut and no implications putting Don into it. But he lost all his messages somehow. But yeah.
Where did you hear this thing about a septic tank?
From Brenner.
What exactly did he say?
He said,
start from the beginning how the conversation came up.
Yeah. Man, he had so many conversations, it's unreal.
Why would he talk to you about this?
I don't know. He took a liking to me.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I don't act like all the rest of them. We're in a fight full of gangbangers. It's loud and obnoxious, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So, and I was only supposed to be in the cell for 3 hours.
Okay.
And they were supposed to move me, but I've been there. I don't even know how long I've been in there. A couple months, month
Okay.
or a couple months. I don't know. But he said putting a body, because he said he used to work for a company that put cows when they died, they would cover them with shit, manure. He said that the shit will eat a body up, and he don't want to give up the body just yet because he's afraid it might go federal. Talking about the body might be across state line. He talked about another spot up there where he said he lives. He knows that if it snows a foot, he's supposed to get a foot or 2 foot of snow up there where he was at. And if that's it, the search is over. You guys will never find it. It's been going on 2 years now, and I'm just like, I listen to it, and I don't talk to him about my case, but yeah, I don't talk to him, but he has no problem with talking about his. He hasn't given me exact location of a body yet, but I'm sure he will.
Why do you say that?
Just because he takes me to be his friend, and I'm not.
What has he told you about it?
He told me.
Start from the beginning.
Beginning of what?
And the beginning of like when he started talking to you about his case. And I want to be perfectly. I want you as you're telling us this, because if I were to just take what you were saying to me and take it as if it's coming from the burning bush, I would look like a fucking idiot.
Right.
Because there's going to be plenty of people that are skeptical, like, hey, you're talking to a guy who's looking at a murder himself, he's blah, blah, blah. How do you know what he's saying is the truth? So what I want you to think about when you're telling me this stuff is anything that you can think of, another person that may have been present, another, if anything that I can use to corroborate what he's saying, what you're saying.
I'd say Don, he said Don was, it took 2 people to move it.
Start from the beginning, though.
But I don't really know how to start from the beginning.
Like the first time he talked to you about his case, just tell me about that. The first time you remember.
He just told me, he used a lot of foul language, that you guys don't look at the simple fact that the kid broke into his place, parked the truck inside a building where it wasn't supposed to be. There was 2 different trucks or something, and it had to be 2 people that done it because somebody had to move Dylan's truck. And he was salty about having to give up some gun. They put a gun back that belonged to Dylan. I don't know, a 40 cal, something, Sigzar or something like that.
Okay.
And some keys that he almost got caught with.
Okay.
When you keep saying they, who's the other person?
I don't know. That's what he says. It has to
But
be.
he says that. Does he say he had another person, or what does he tell you in that regard?
Because you're not necessarily saying that he's saying that he did these things. It's like he's saying that they did it.
He's saying that there had to be. He says, yeah, somebody set that evidence up. He didn't touch it. He didn't touch the truck, so on and so on. But he had to have somebody with him. Dylan had to have somebody with him. But then he'll tell me he's got something you guys want, so you're going to make a deal with him, or he's going to sit here and rot for 5 years. But the only other person that he's implicated was Don, some dude named Don.
How did he implicate him?
He implicated him that he was his best friend, and him and Don, Dylan owed him and Don a whole bunch of money or something.
Okay.
And they didn't ever get paid. And he's really jealous of the kid, and he wants the parents to admit that they brought up a bad kid. It was his parents' fault, not his.
So when you say he implicated Don, that would mean that he told you that Don helped him do the murder.
Don helped.
Or did he allude to that?
No,
we need to know what happened.
Yeah, he didn't say that. He hasn't said how he killed him, but he told Don to take that .22 rifle and get it out of here. Don was supposed to take it to his brothers or something and get rid of it because Don had a bunch of guns in his house, and that gun, James Brenner didn't need to be associated with that gun because he's a convicted felon. And the gun was there, and I guess FBI tear his place apart or something.
he hasn't told you that he's done this? He's just alluding that.
He's told me that his lawyer and the prosecuting attorney wants to get it done by May.
Okay.
And if they're going to get it done by May, you guys are going to give him what he wants, and he'll give you what he's got.
And what is it that he wants?
He wants the 5 years. He wants the 1 to 5. Yeah, I know it's funny. He wants a 1 to 5, and he'll give up the body.
But you don't know where the body is.
No, I don't know.
Why did you say septic tank?
Because that's what he's talking about. Was a good place to hide. Was a good place to hide a body. In the
A good place to hide a body would be a septic tank.
In the septic tank. He said anything will fit down that. As long as the hole's big enough to fit it, it'll fit down in there. And he said they never know. They might be walking over top of the body. And then he also talked about this hole in the mountain where he used to live. There's a hole in the mountain up there where there's a water ravine, a hole that got blocked off because people used to go partying up there, and the hole got blocked off or some shit.
Okay. But he's just talking about in general about where good places to hide a body would be.
No, he's only talking about
the septic tank being a good place.
Septic tank being a good place.
Okay.
And you guys are not going to find the body because it's somewhere out in the west desert, and the ants is going to eat it up. Badgers and this and that.
But he's also told you that Chase was involved.
Yeah. He did say Chase. He said they're not even looking at Chase because Chase had a gun charge, and then they brought him here and left him down there because they separated y'all.
Okay.
So does he say that he has he told you that he did it?
More or less, but not.
Tell me how he came about. How you believe that he had said that he did it. Let's go to that.
Because he told me when he came home, the lock on the gate was off. They took apart the fence or something, but he doesn't say that he shot, stabbed, strangled, whatever. But he does say what you guys don't understand is the kid didn't fucking belong there. That was his property.
So, even if he hasn't implicated himself, you've said that he has talked about telling us where the body is.
Yes.
So how has that gone about? Because if he's not saying he did it, like when he told, did he tell you that he?
I asked him that too. I said, "How do you got something they want if you know?
If you didn't do it.
If you didn't do it?" And he's like, "Well, that'll all pan out."
Gotcha.
How will it pan out? I'm with the fact that my feeling is he did it. Just by him saying, I'll sit here rotting this jail because he says I'm 60 years old and 25 to life. It's a death sentence. I said, well, it is a death sentence. I'm looking at the same thing. It's a death sentence. You're right. But simple fact is, if you tell them you got something they want and they're willing to make a deal, he's like, well, a lot of things got to happen by then. Gun charge got to go away, so on and so on. And I'm like, well, you know what? Just to be real with you, they're not going to get rid of that gun charge. That gun charge was holding you. That gun charge is holding you down.
So what did he say he had to give us?
The body.
And he said that he knows where it is.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that's the only way you guys are going to get it is the parents admit to. The parents got to admit to
being bad parents. Being bad parents,
yeah, really. It's about being bad parents because the kid was a rich, spoiled.
Yeah.
Somewhat the kid was rich and spoiled. That don't mean he deserves to die, but
he's rich and spoiled and wanting to spend his fortune in loose end.
Right.
That sounds fucking crazy to me.
One of
and loose end, yeah. I don't know nothing about loose end, but I heard it's awful.
Imagine the surface of the moon, and that's loose end. Yeah.
One of our biggest things that, like what we're focused on right now, is finding the kid so we can get him to his family.
Right.
So anything that you
the west end toward the salt flats.
When's the last time you've been out in the West Desert yourself?
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I think
I came through it on the interstate once. The interstate goes through the salt flats.
Yeah.
I think
it's all salt flats.
It extends north forever.
Wow. Well,
It's not all salt flats either. If it was all salt flats, it might be easy, but it's not.
Yeah, so. No, that's why he's on it. He's got something you guys wanting, and
so if I'm hearing you correctly, there have been things that you have heard him say, either talking about the case or just talking about Dylan, that leads you to believe that he actually killed this kid.
Oh yeah,
but he hasn't specifically stated anything like, "This is how I killed him, and this is where the body is."
No, we were about to get into that discussion. We're going to get into that discussion because he likes to talk, and I don't. That's the only thing we talk about. Because I don't even talk to him. I live with him, and I don't even talk to him about what guard looks stupid or what normal stuff.
Gotcha.
So him talking about Chase and Chase being involved, was that early on in you being in a room with him? Because it kind of contradicts itself, right?
Yeah.
He says Chase did it, but then he says he married him, and
he says that he's trying. My feeling is he's trying to put it off on Chase but then he said y'all needed to check that gravel road. That comes from wherever Chase's grandfather lives or something.
Okay.
All the way to where
they Did he talk about where a septic tank is out there?
Yeah, he did. As a matter of fact, there's whatever land that he was staying on or lived on, there was a setup for five or six trailers to be put out there. He was talking about there because I guess Dylan had broken off the vent pipes on it or some shit. I don't know.
Broken off the what? The vent? Oh, vent pipes. Okay,
vent
gotcha.
pipes that come up out of the ground.
All right.
All
right.
Did he talk about moving him or anything like that? But he did mention that the
septic tank would be a great place to hide a body.
Yeah.
But he didn't say that he put Dylan in there.
Not yet.
Anywhere else he's alluded to? I know you said the West Desert, but if we try to narrow it down at all,
a mountain. Yeah, you try to narrow. I guess I don't know about the desert. It's a big ass desert.
Yeah.
I didn't know how big it was, but no. There's a hole in the mountain somewhere. I don't know. I've talked to him, try to get him to just give the body up. Try to give it up because that's
You were talking about a conversation you had in regards to a gun that needed to be put back.
Yeah, there's a 22. Yeah. Yeah, he had a pistol or something that belonged to somebody.
Who told you this?
Brenner.
What exactly did he say?
He said that he had to sneak it back in there, and he got lucky to get it down in there because he had a sheriff that was watching him the whole time. Some keys and a gun. He said he threw the gun on the table where it was obviously could be seen, and the keys he stuffed them in some laundry. Some dirty clothes.
And he told you that he did that.
Yeah.
How did that come about in that conversation?
I was just part of it. He said that when he was down there, he starts blabbing off and he'll just go and then he'll change off to another part of it.
Well, explain it as best you can as far as how that happened.
And your understanding of it.
Yeah.
We was just talking that he said the father, they were all down there searching around and the grandfather sent him a message and wanted to know how he got the gun put back without anybody seeing him. And I asked him what that meant, and he said, well, I had Dylan's Sig-Zar 40 cal or something.
Okay.
And keys to the truck, and the father had done broke the window out of the truck or something. And I was like, okay. He's like, they tampered with the evidence when they did that. So this case they're looking for a change of venue because of that.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, that's good to know. I told him that's good to know. I said, but telling me all this ain't doing good.
So he's telling you about Dad breaking the window of the truck, and they mess with evidence, and it's possibly enough. He thinks it's enough to create a change of venue. But how does it get to the conversation about the gun going back?
He said that they were looking for evidence and stuff in the truck, and that's when his dad broke the window out. And I guess they took the view off the trailer that he had to put the gun back into. And
they took the what?
The view off the trailer.
The view?
Yeah, everybody was there looking.
Okay, gotcha. All right. No one was looking at the trailer anymore. They was
able to sneak it back in there somehow. I don't know.
Okay.
So that there, I told him that there. I said, you tell anybody that, and it sounds like you did it. And he's like, well, we'll see how it pans out. He says, but as far as I know, they want to look at Chase, and I'm like, I don't know about Chase. Who's Chase? Just another one that he don't like.
How did he tell you he came by the keys and the gun?
He didn't.
He just said at one point
that he had it. Yeah, that it had to get put back because if they found it in his possession, him being a convicted felon with a firearm. But then
what?
But then he had the gun in the shed, the .22 rifle. In
Gotcha.
The shed.
So he had to get rid of that too.
He had to get rid of that too, and he stuck it. He said he stuck it in the gun bag. He said he stuck it in the gun bag, stuck it in the back of Don's truck, and told Don to take it home and get rid of it. He couldn't be associated with him.
Gotcha.
And Don took it home, I guess, and then from there somebody got a hold of it.
Yep.
Why did he tell you that he couldn't have the guns and he gave them to Don?
Because he was a convicted felon.
And he didn't mention.
He didn't mention. He ain't mentioned how he did it. Or any of that. Well.
Anything else?
Not yet. He'll talk. He's keep talking. He likes to talk.
Gotcha.
If he does, can you get into contact with us?
Yeah.
One way or another.
I will.
Don't do anything to put
I won't.
yourself in the crosshairs or anything, but
Here's the thing, though, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. If I were just to walk out of this building right now and go talk to the prosecutor and say, hey, we got this guy, his name's Prophet, he told us that these following things happened. The prosecutor's going to, how can you prove that what he's saying is truthful? You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
And even if you were ever to be, let's say you were to agree to testify, right? And you're called to the stand. Brenner's attorney would be like, you've been charged with this. What's your criminal history beyond?
It's not good.
Okay.
I spent 18 years in penitentiary.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So all of that shit right there would work against you. So what I'm looking for, it's I first of all, I appreciate the fact that you're willing to talk to us in the first place. Okay?
Absolutely.
But anytime...
I just think it's sad that he had to kill a kid because he was jealous of him.
Well, it is what it is, right? And so what I'm trying to do right now is anytime I'm talking to somebody who's in the position that you are, where you're providing us information and you're trying to be helpful, I'm trying to figure out, how can I prove that what you're saying is truthful?
I mean, I don't know. That's just what he's told me. So I don't.
Okay.
we just have
I
to
got no reason.
corroborate it. That's what he's asking.
I don't got no reason to lie to you.
Well, you do. I mean, that's in all honesty, I'm not saying that you are, but a person in your position, looking at what you're looking at, like a defense attorney would be like, of course you have every reason to lie to us because you're hoping that you're going to get some kind of a
I'm homeless.
benefit.
I'm homeless. My wife is dead, and I don't care about life in itself. I've tried to kill myself 3 times since I've been here.
Okay.
If that's what you're getting at,
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is that I appreciate the fact that you're giving us this information, okay? But in order for us to do our due diligence, I need to be thinking about how can I corroborate what it is that you're telling me to show that you're being honest.
I don't know.
Okay.
Really, I don't know.
So that's what I want you to start thinking about.
All right.
Because we got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. We only have bits and pieces of it right now.
And there's enough. Anyone could say, you've.
Right.
How long have you been in jail for now?
Since May 12th.
So just
6 months.
6 months. So anyone could say you've been listening to YouTube podcasts or you've been following this.
We don't have a YouTube podcast.
No, but this case has been going on longer than you've been.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He told me it's been going on for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, exactly.
16, 17 months.
So I have to approach this with some sense of skepticism because I have to look at it like a defense attorney would or like a jury would. And so the whole time you're talking, I'm like, okay, all right, how can I prove that? How can I prove that? How can I prove that? And that's what I want you to start thinking of too, right?
Okay.
Him to tell you something and just you is probably not going to be enough.
He doesn't talk to nobody else. He don't even.
I get that. I get that. So
he's happily content where he's at.
But I mean, if he tells you something, like he said to think about it, if he tells you something that we can corroborate what you're telling us, that's what we need.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to talk to you about anything though, and there's other ways that we can possibly work to corroborate some of the things that you're telling us. But I'm just telling you so that you start thinking like an investigator, so that if there's something that is said.
Where is the snow supposed to get a foot last couple of days?
All over the state of
Everywhere in
Utah.
the state of
My backyard, which is 4-hour drive from where the loose end is, so it
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter.
But I mean, it's like you said, I don't believe that you're lying to us, but we have to prove that you're not lying to us. That's the issue.
I don't know how to.
And I know that's why he's saying think about it. So if something else comes up or anything like that, anything that could help us is great. I'll come down here and talk to you anytime.
All right.
So will I. So.
All right. All I want out of it is to get my case put back on with death penalty, because I don't care. I don't care about life anymore.
Okay.
My wife is gone. I want death penalty back on my charge. They took it off the table. I want it back on, because there's going to be no plea bargains for her life, anyways. I know you guys got nothing to do with that, but
Gotcha.
probably can't even get that done, but that's cool.
We don't have the power to change those things.
I have no reason to lie to you. It kind of repulses me that he did that. Really does.
Okay. All right.
With things, with the way he goes, you know what? Just give me some time.
Okay.
Give me some time, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything he tells me.
Okay.
I can't stand the guy. I think it's so fucking sick that he did it. Regardless of what I'm charged with or what my past history is.
Okay.
The boy was young, and he was so what? He was spoiled.
I don't think you're spoiled if you want to live a life of farming.
Yeah, I don't.
I lived the life of farming, and you're right.
I don't know that sin is the place to live the high life on with money either.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you can think of?
Not at the moment.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate talking to you.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
You can get back in touch with us.
I'll have somebody call you.
Thank you, sir.